You never was a superstar. You must be on them Zanny bars. Welcome back to episode 95 of the Purple Rain podcast, the Sam Adams episode, the Jared Johnson episode, the Derek Wolf episode, the Rick Lyle episode. I'll throw it back to 96, 97 of the Purple Rain podcast. We are here today. We got a lot to talk about. Got, Twitter drama going on, Instagram drama going on, all that with the Ravens. But first, let's just get out the way. Where can I find you on Instagram and Twitter at?
Yeah, man, absolutely. Like you said, thank you guys so much for watching episode 95 of the Purple Rain podcast, featuring your boy Simply As10 and your boy Sutton Def. Me personally, you can find me on Twitter or Instagram, just at Sutton Def, just how you see on the screen there, Twitter or Instagram. And if you want to follow Simply As10, you can find him on Twitter at just Simply As10 and on Instagram at simplyas10.prod. And then just another reminder, currently subscribe to his YouTube channel as well, Simply As10 Burner.
The Burner.
Yes.
The Burner.
Yes. And then also make sure you also follow us on Instagram at the Purple Rain Podcast as well. So, for all things updates, updates on Purple Rain, Ravens. It is off season, guys. Listen, it's off season. I have to talk about it now. Super Bowl's over. Super Bowl's done. Like, the season is officially done. We are in the off season officially for the next 6 months. So we're gonna still be giving you guys content just like we did last year. All you guys who were with us last year, gear up for another nice and long off season because we will be here locked in. So make sure you follow us on Instagram at the Purple Rain Podcast because you're not going to want to miss things that we have coming up, especially what we have coming up in 5 more episodes. And I'll just leave that at that. But yeah, let's see who we have here in the live chat so far tonight. Let's see, Don C in the house. That's Alex Sutton Rain Gang. What's up, everyone? What's going on, Don C?
Been a minute.
Appreciate you for coming through. Right, yeah. I noticed that. Like, it's definitely been a minute. But my man Don C is back in the house. Appreciate you for coming through. Darius, the official, as always, Rain Gang. What's going on, Darius? We appreciate you, bro. I see my guy Dylan is in the chat. Dylan says Simply is the GOAT. Oh, he is, man. Simply's the GOAT. Simply's really been running up the score on everybody lately. Like, look at the numbers. Look at the numbers, man. Do you see the Eli Apple videos really are like kind of like been your claim to fame like lately, bro?
He's my enemy.
Those videos have been going crazy.
I want him to sign to a team that we play this year. I will be front row. I genuinely mean that. I want him to go back to the Bengals. I dare you.
He's got it out for you, man. He does not like Simply AS10. You said it on last episode. You said you live rent free in his head, and I'm sure you do. He literally said it today. You responded to the Twitter post where Eli Apple was like, "You guys reawoke a fire in me that will cause me to be the best person I can be." Exactly. It's like
nobody told him to go and talk trash about New Orleans. Nobody said all that.
Right. So But that's a different story for a different day. We got our guy Mod K-Dog in the house. Says, yo, what's good, Rain Gang family? What's going on, K-Dog? Appreciate you for coming through. Lisa in the house says, hey, Sutton Def and Alex, I've just about had it with the disrespect LG has been getting enough already. Yeah, you guys see the title of the video. We're going to get into that. Lamar Jackson is pissed off. You guys have seen the tweets. You guys have seen all that. We're going to talk about that in just a minute here. But yeah, we have, pretty much the entire Rain Gang here, man. The entire Rain Gang just showing up in full effect. I got my guy Dre. My guy Dre is always hitting me up on Instagram, man. I appreciate him.
Responding
always, man. We love it. So he says, what's up, Purple Rain Gang? What's going on, Dre? Appreciate you. Hope you're doing well, man. See, what about Rob? We see Tanja Bowman, Dapper. Yusuf is in the building. Black Daniels, D3. Yolanda's here tonight. I appreciate all of you guys for coming through, man. Larry Davis, Jabari Cruz, Ellis, my guy. Ryan is in the house. Lawrence Trent. You guys are still coming in here. We appreciate all of you guys. We already got about 40 people watching. We appreciate you guys so much. Make sure you like this video. Go ahead and give it a thumbs up. Give it a thumbs up, guys. Reggie Wright is in the building. All of you guys. Spencer, we love you guys. So listen, let's go ahead and just start off this video just talking about what we haven't talked about yet. Which is the Super Bowl. The Super Bowl just happened a couple days ago. We haven't talked to you guys about it yet, and I see my guy Simply over there is smoking on that Bengals pack, and
No,
rightfully
it's Eli
so.
Apple strain real quick. That's the
Oh,
first.
that's the first. Okay,
That
okay.
that's really why I wanted to lose. To be honest, I can't stand that motherfucker. I really
Yeah,
can't.
yeah, I
I just
understand. I understand. And I kind of get why like some people were like giving me backlash for rooting for the Bengals, and it was for that reason. And it was like, yeah, I mean, I don't like that guy either, but like I really like Burrow and Chase, so like that's why I wanted them to win, and they really almost did. So like I want to get your overall thoughts about the game. You guys are watching live right now. Make sure you guys leave your overall thoughts about the Super Bowl down below in the comments, and also if you're not watching live at this moment, you're part of the hashtag Replay Gang. We thank you so much for watching this episode 95 of the Purple Rain podcast. Make sure you leave your comments down below so we can get to them as well. But yeah, what were your overall thoughts about this game? Simply, like it was really good to me. Like it went down to the wire just like
yeah.
I thought it would. And you know the Bengals almost pulled it off, but the Rams ended up showing up late. So what did you think about the game?
The Bengals blew their chance to win the game. I think in the third quarter, if they score a touchdown off that pick, I think it's a game over. Um,
Mm,
I think
yeah,
they're a poorly coached team. I don't think Zach Taylor is a good coach. I think it showed. And I think their line is absolutely atrocious. I mean, we that was the main concern the whole game. And whoever pissed off Aaron Donald after that hit on Burrow, he should get cut. Because after they pissed off Donald, the game just turned around. They start triple teaming Donald, which leaves Leonard Floyd, Von Miller, and then that's what happens. But a big shout out to former Raven Eric Weddle, who played with a torn labrum, and finally got his ring, so he can
yeah,
ride off into the sunset. I'm just so happy for him. I mean, he deserves
yeah.
it.
Definitely, man. He literally got up off the couch, came out of retirement, came and played football for about a month, and hey, won a Super Bowl. You
Yeah,
know, like that. It doesn't get any better than that, man. You know, so he gets to, like you said, right off into the sunset with that. But yeah, I mean, this game here, I don't think that what it really told me was this, and this is like kind of obvious, but like it needs to be talked about. The Super Bowl is the game in the NFL where it's so scrutinized, it's so focused on everybody's, watching. Everybody's watching at once, right? Because it's the only game on. It's the very last game of the season. So
yeah,
you really see what it is a football game consists of and what really swings the pendulum in these big games. And it's the trenches. And you see what happened in
and
this football game.
the refs too.
Refs as
Let's not
well.
forget,
Refs as well. That's another good point. That's
man.
another good point. But it's the trenches. That's where the game started and that's where the game was finished, Because on that final play, on that fourth down and one, when Aaron
Why
Donald
Joe Mixon isn't in either? I mean,
I have no idea. I tweeted that. I don't know if I tweeted about Joe Mixon, but I said like, why aren't you running the ball? I mean, you have Joe Mixon on the field. Just tell him to go out there, get 1 yard,
yeah,
Like, don't put the ball in the air. Don't have your guys backing up so Aaron Donald can go after them. No. Because you see
yeah.
what happens. He's gonna go right by them. He's gonna get to
That's
your
what I'm talking
quarterback.
about. Just that just was not the
It
smart
wasn't
call
it. It
whatsoever.
was not it. Not at all. But hey, man, we've seen that all throughout the playoffs. Like, these coaches who have been,
Chiefs.
performing very well, because it gets down to the nitty gritty, and they got to make that decision, and they just guess wrong.
Can you
They
imagine
guess
the
wrong.
Ravens like 4th and 1 and we pass it?
Oh my
Gosh,
goodness,
we'd be in shambles.
we would absolutely, absolutely. But definitely want to see what you guys thought about the game in its entirety as well. OBJ is another guy. I'm very
Happy for
happy
him.
for. Oh my God,
Went
man.
out sad, unfortunately.
Yeah, but I mean, it was kind of like it was fairy tale, like because he
Yeah,
scored the first touchdown, and it looked like he was about to put in even more work, but
I think
unfortunately, went down with that injury.
I think next year, the Bengals defense, their secondary, they gave up a game-winning drive to a quarterback that has never been in the Super Bowl in his career, and to only one good receiver on the field in Cooper Cup. They
Hmm.
had to. Nobody's scared of Ben Skoranek. I
No,
don't think anybody in this chat knew who he was or was even worried about him. You just had to worry about Cooper Cup, and you let him
right.
just drive on you. I think we need to be looking at that, looking at what the Rams did, because before OBJ went out, they were having their way passing wise. Running, they don't have a running game. I don't know why they kept trying to force the run in the Rams,
Hmm.
but the Ravens can look and see like what did they do right to keep driving on them is what I just look at that, because I think that's a team that we can beat 100% with health. I don't see why not. I mean, I don't think the Super Bowl had the best teams in the league. I think the best team on the AFC was the Bills, but that's how the cookie crumbles.
Yeah.
But
Yeah. Agree there. Just kind of looking at the receiving numbers here. I mean, Cooper Cup, 8 catches for 92 yards, 2 touchdowns. I mean, do you think that performance was deserving of MVP?
I think Donald deserved it more.
Yeah.
I'll be honest.
Yeah. I mean,
He
I can
did.
agree with that. I can get with that. But, it's an offensive driven league, it's a weapons league,
Yeah.
And Cooper Cup, he did have 2 touchdowns and he had the go ahead
Yeah.
touchdown too.
Yeah.
So that's it. That is important, and it hits different kind of when it's like, I'll say this, it hits different when it's on a fade route. I feel like
Everybody
we
knew
can,
where they were going. We
yeah,
we
but that's the point. That's the point. Like everybody in the building knows where the football's
you
going,
put
but you
Eli
still go
Apple
up
on him.
there and you get it. That's what an MVP does. So I definitely
Yeah.
think that he
Yeah.
should have won it. But Aaron Donald, man, he definitely did his part as well. I mean, oh my
He
goodness,
was silent
you
the
know,
first half. Silent.
yeah, yeah.
Turned it up.
What's funny? You see that video of when Joe Burrow was trying to talk to the Rams players on
Yeah.
defense, and like
He
most
just
people were
walked.
like responding to him, but Aaron Donald just like walks right by him,
Yeah.
like just cold shoulder. I thought that was pretty funny.
Yeah. That's what happens when you lose your first Super Bowl. I mean, he was there just all business.
Yeah.
Respect it.
So I see Lisa here says Cooper Cup was a major factor in happy Matt Stafford finally won a Super Bowl ring. Alex, how are you really feeling about Matt Stat Padford?
I've been converted
Um,
into a fan. I
oh,
mean, I'll
have
be
you
honest.
now?
I've been
Oh, you
converted.
heard it here first, guys. You heard it here
I'll be.
first. Talk
I
about
told.
it.
I. The play that made me change my mind was that for that third down or just whatever against the Bucks to Cup, just recognize cover zero, had time, threw it up, and Cup. I was like, okay, he can do it on the big stage.
Yeah.
I mean, I was kind of my biggest worry, and he's done it. But I'm kind of worried about the health wise thing too now next season because both quarterbacks took some hits. I mean, they weren't coming out. But I put something out. I said when Matt Stafford gets hurt, he gets a +5 attributes because he just plays better hurt. I don't know what it is with him, but he just wasn't throwing picks when he was hurt. Was making the right reads. Was flinging no look passes. Must have had his X factor. I mean, that no look pass was disgusting. Um,
Yeah.
sold Von Bell, but that was nasty. And then I don't know if you saw the picture from the fourth down that Jamar Chase was wide open.
Yeah.
He
Because
yeah
Ramsey fell.
wasn't the best games from old best corner in the league, Jalen Ramsey.
Definitely
So
wasn't. Definitely wasn't. That was another interesting thing too. I don't think he didn't get like annihilated. You know what I mean? It wasn't like they were like just going after him because he was playing so bad. I mean, nobody would ever do that. It's Jalen Ramsey. But he definitely did give up his fair share of big plays. But
not what you
there was
expect.
also, yeah, that was to
Yeah.
expect. But there's also that face mask that wasn't called either. That was kind of one big play.
Woo!
That if that didn't
Yeah.
happen, then we might be having a slightly different
Yeah.
conversation right now. And I definitely think that should have been called. What do you think?
I think it should have, and then you got to look at the pass interference on Cup. Both of those calls were just iffy,
Yeah,
iffy.
definitely,
So
definitely both iffy on those. And man, that's another thing. Like you talked about earlier when I was talking about how the Super Bowl is a game that's like so heavily scrutinized because it is the biggest game of the year. And the refs like being like having such a huge like role in that,
yeah,
it's still a problem.
yeah.
And I don't know. I feel like something needs to be done, and that you can get away with the argument of like during the season, like you don't want to hold games up too much because of TV time, this and that. But it's the Super Bowl. It's like
Yeah.
we have to get at least this one right. Everybody's watching. There's so much on the line. Like, take your time, get the call right. Like, if we have to take a minute or two, it's 60 seconds.
Just to get the
But
call right.
just to
It's
get the call right, exactly. But I don't know. That's just me. That's just me. I also do know and understand that time is money, and time happens to be a lot of money in the NFL. Like seconds are worth millions of dollars in those commercials.
speaking of
Airtime.
commercials. I mean, none of them stood out to me. The only one I actually like was like the mini NFL players. I thought that was cool.
That was pretty cool.
That was
Normally, the
like
ones they do with the NFL players is kind of cool.
the 100-year anniversary. That was cool with all like the
Right.
legends in that. I mean, that one I thought with the little players. I mean, they teased it with Lamar, like all those little teases. I think by far, I think that was like the coolest one.
Yeah. Yeah. Let's see. We got our guy Gerald in the house. Says, "What up, PRP
Gerald.
gang? What's going on, Gerald? Appreciate you for coming through. As always, let's see who else we have in here. Our guy Dylan just stamping it now. Cooper Kupp is the best receiver in the league, and it is not close.
He was doing it with Goff. Did it with Stafford.
Yeah.
Right now, yeah, he showed up.
Yeah, I mean, I got to agree. Honestly. Now, I think that pendulum might have been swayed a little bit towards Jamar Chase if they would have won that Super Bowl.
Yeah,
He would have had like one
100%.
more touchdown, you know?
I mean, he's top 5. I mean, already first
Yeah,
year,
definitely
top
top
3,
5.
top 3, top 5. You can make the
You can make an argument top 3,
yeah,
but
100%.
I
I
would say
mean,
comfortably top 5 for
yeah,
sure. Yeah.
and we got to deal with them for the next however many years. I can't wait.
Yeah, can't wait, right? Yippee. Yay us. Anyway, so let's go ahead and move on from the Super Bowl and get on to just the main topic. So the meat and potatoes of this
Yeah,
episode. Lamar
yeah.
Jackson is pissed off. Lamar Jackson is pissed off. And you can see it in his tweets. You can see it in his actions. He's already back, like day after the Super Bowl, already back on the field.
Working.
Working hard with his guys too, not just with anybody. With
Bateman,
guys like Bateman,
Prochet.
Prochet. You know what I mean? So, it's evident to me that he is pissed off. And also, if you look at like mass media, big media, I was watching First Things First the other day, and Nick Wright, I think it is. He had like a
Dude, that's all you had to say.
yeah,
That's
I
honestly
know.
all you had to say.
He had some sort of
I
like infographic up there where it was like QB, like teams with a QB question,
oh yep,
and the
yep,
Ravens were included in that. And I'm
yep,
just like,
yeah.
if I'm Lamar Jackson, I see something like that, and it's just like bro, like, are you serious right now? Like, you really? Oh my goodness, it's so crazy how quickly mass media and everybody else who isn't a Ravens fan can lose faith in Lamar Jackson. It's like just like that.
I can one up you right now. I mean,
Sure.
I had first take on this morning, and I think it's Sam Acho, Emmanuel's brother.
Yeah.
Didn't have Mahomes in his top 5 quarterbacks.
Wow.
Um,
Yeah. See.
so it's not just against Lamar. I don't know how he had him not in his top 5, and they all called him out for it.
Yeah.
But then he said the Chiefs are going to make it to the Super Bowl. So it doesn't. You can't. That makes no sense.
That makes absolutely no sense.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, like we said, guys, like you've seen it like in the guy's tweets. Like you see what was the one tweet he made? It was about somebody said like next year the Ravens are gonna be so good once they get all these healthy players back. Something like that. And there was like a little poster attached to it as well.
Yeah.
And then he's like, yeah, we're not talking about it anymore after this tweet. And, he puts his emojis or whatever. And then there was one where somebody had posted about Lamar Jackson being figured out. Was that you?
I put the video out.
You put the video out.
I tweeted the video of that
Right.
throw from week 1 where he dodged Max Crosby, Pro Bowler, Yannick Ngakoue, former Pro Bowler, and another like 3 or 4 guy Raiders, and then zips it to Hollywood.
Yeah.
And then Patrick Queen quote tweeted it with Lamar's been figured out. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then you saw Lamar quote tweet that with like the emoji.
Right.
Like that was one of my favorite plays of the year. I didn't mean anything by it. Like that was my like. I didn't expect that to happen.
So basically, what we're seeing here is that Simply as 10 is the GOAT because he's got Patrick Queen quote tweeting him and then Lamar Jackson quote tweeting him. But yeah, you saw.
I just want my YouTube channel back, honestly.
Yeah,
I mean...
yeah. YouTube, come on, guys, come on, YouTube. You guys got to stop tripping. Like he's not hurting a soul. Like let's stop. Let's relax.
Yeah.
Anyway, so yeah, man, like. Lamar Jackson, he definitely does feel like he has a chip on his shoulder, and he's showing it.
Contract year,
contract year. He actually made a post the other day where it was kind of like he kind of had like an angry tone in it, and he was talking about how like, oh, if you don't like what I post, yada yada yada, you don't have to follow me. This is my shit. All this sort of stuff. And I'm like,
I don't blame him.
okay,
I
don't blame him.
I mean, I think you want to talk about disrespected. Look no further. And my thing is too is that when you were watching, you saw like the workout videos. I don't know if that's like a QB guru or somebody, but he made a throw and the dude like looked at it and gave like a thumbs up. He's working on back shoulder passes, like zipping them on like really quick as if it was RPO, and I love to see that. I mean, because that's the offense. And what I love too is that Lamar didn't know this, but he's telling the fans something. Having James Prochet there means their chemistry is already amazing. So the
Mm,
reason why he's not being used and utilized isn't because Lamar doesn't have chemistry with him. It's because of the coaching doesn't believe in him. That's something I picked up. I'm like, we've been calling out for Prochet to get more reps, and it's not because he doesn't have chemistry with Lamar. It's because he's just not being used.
right.
So that's something I'm looking forward to next season. Because I think Prochet 100% deserves at least 50 targets. I bet you
Yeah.
if they're in his hands, he'll catch all 50 of them. But
Yeah. And that's a philosophy thing too, don't you think? Like just from a coaching standpoint, if your players are showing like outside of actual like training camp and practice and stuff like that, if they're showing that they have chemistry and you're
yeah,
seeing that and the entire media is seeing that, you should be picking up on that too, like on those cues and saying, hey, these guys actually like to work with each other. I should probably be making plays and to get these guys to hook up on the field. You know
and
what I
if you
mean?
want to
So
talk
like,
about plays, why was it that Bateman was only targeted in the first like one or two drives that were scripted? When the
yeah,
drives weren't scripted, when was Bateman getting the ball?
you're right. You're right.
Like I didn't want it to turn into this, but the players are putting in the work.
Right.
We're
Yeah.
just we want to see can we graduate Lamar? Like you said, take the training wheels off. There's 2 wheels on the bike, not 4 anymore. Take them off.
Right.
If
Yeah, I
we
mean,
fall, we fall. But if we keep going, it's gonna be a nice ride.
it's gonna be a very bro, I love that analogy. I love that. Like that's literally what it is though. That's literally what it is. Like take the training wheels off, let him go, let him go through his reads, go through his progressions. Don't necessarily give him, okay, you have this read, you have that read. We want you to, prioritize these because you that's what happens a lot. Like you want, like I'm sure Greg Roman is more so like, okay, you have Mark Andrews on this route. I feel like that's why Lamar targets him so much.
Mm-hmm.
On top of the fact that he just, likes him as a target. Like a lot of plays are drawn up for Mark Andrews,
Yeah.
to get open, scheme wise. So it's like I don't know. It feels like the coaching staff is just more so they think like they know what's best for the offense and for the team, but it's not always what is actually best, and I feel like
Yeah.
they need to listen to the players a little bit more because the players tell you in the off season, they tell you what they want to do, they tell you uh what direction they want to go in, and Lamar is making a statement here.
Yep.
He's making a statement by getting James Prochet and getting Rashad Bateman, not even Hollywood Brown, you know what I mean, not even I don't even want to say Sammy Watkins or Mark
Because he's a
Andrews.
free. Hell,
Well, yeah, I would
Jordan
say Mark
Lasley
Andrews.
was there. The
Yeah,
same
like
Jordan Lasley who got pissed off at a Ravens practice and threw a football into the pond near in the facility. I mean, that's the same guy.
yeah,
I mean, Benjamin Victor was there. I mean,
yeah.
he's pushing for a spot on the team this year in preseason. I mean, that's good to see on his behalf.
Let's see. So we have a comment here by Self Talk Gardner says, "I've been screaming for Prochet to get more time. The dude is a beast, and he definitely
Mm-hmm.
has chemistry with Lamar. Go back to the Denver game. I don't know why they didn't plan after that."
I mean, he put up what I think 6 catches on
Yeah,
that one. I know he put up 7 with Josh Johnson against the Bengals. He
yeah.
just didn't use him anymore.
Healthy scratches. Healthy scratches. Makes no sense
Mm-hmm.
at all. Let's see. Brandon Lewis brings up a point here. Says Prochet can go to KC and put up 500 plus yards. To be honest,
Prochet
I don't
in
doubt it. Yeah,
KC would take the Sammy Watkins, the number 2, because they have Hardman as a 3, and
yeah.
he put up probably more than 500. Like you said, 500
Right,
plus. It'd be crazy. Because they would find a way to get him open.
right. Yeah. Dre says use these guys the right way. Absolutely. Gerald, our first super chat
Oh,
donation of the night coming from
thank you,
our guy
Gerald. Thank
Gerald.
you,
Thank
thank
you
you,
so
and
much for making it
75
rain here.
viewers. So thank you
75
for that
viewers,
one.
78 actually. Yeah.
Oh,
Thank you guys so much. Make sure you like this video. Um, if the offensive line improves, Lamar Jackson will do well, and I'm hoping the pass rushers step up.
Gerald kind of.
Yes.
I kind of
Yeah,
wanted to talk about pass rushers too, but
sure.
offensive line first and foremost, 100%. I mean, I think
Mm.
14 has to be O line at this point.
Yeah. I mean, I agree. Especially after what we saw in the Super Bowl, it
Yeah,
came down to like
yeah.
O line versus D line, and that D line definitely got the better. So we definitely need to reassure ourselves on that offensive line. So I would not mind at all at number 14, going for an offensive tackle.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah, just
because
straight up, like, yeah.
it's scary to think about what this line could do with a healthy Stanley. Don't know why my Siri just popped up. Didn't say anything. Okay. But with the healthy Ronnie Stanley, and then I guess you're gonna have Zeitler. Are we gonna have Ben Cleveland, or are we gonna have Ben Powers? I mean, if Cleveland can get better in the pass protection, I mean he's definitely gonna start. And then what do we
Yeah.
do at center? Is Bozeman gonna be there? Are we gonna sign maybe a Ryan Jensen? Don't want to say anything. And then what about right tackle? Is it going to be Jawan James, who hasn't played a full season, or is it going to be Tyree Phillips?
Right. I mean, I think that since right tackle is the biggest question on the line right now, I think that that's where they go with the 14th pick. They get
And
an
I would love
offensive
that.
tackle who plays mainly on the right side. And yeah, I would love that
I'd
too,
love it.
for
I'd love
sure.
it.
And then talking about hoping the pass rushers step up as well. Yeah, I mean, we're gonna need a big sophomore season from Odafe Owe. Like I'm bringing in the same excitement, the same hype that I had going in for him in this past season. I'm bringing the exact same thing, exact same energy into next season because I expect nothing less than what he did this year, and which was really really good for his rookie
Yeah.
season.
And
And I,
then
I
some.
definitely expect him to take that step forward. So, him, Justin Houston. Do you think we'll be able to retain Houston?
I'll be honest. I don't know how I feel about keeping Justin Houston
Really?
because I mean, we already saw Dante Fowler get cut, and Zadarius Smith could be a cap casualty. So there's guys that I'm looking. I'm like, okay, wait a minute. We could get a guy like Z Smith, who was under Wink, and now he'll be under a whole new defensive coordinator. Who we don't know what Mike McDonald will do, but what we did see is that he was detriment. Well, no, not that word, but he was an influence to Aiden
Mhm.
Hutchinson, who's probably going to be a top 3 pick.
Yep.
I would like to see one of those guys, maybe another. I just don't know how I feel about Justin Houston coming back because of the age, and we didn't see
Right.
that much, like just improvement. I think because what do you have, like 4.5 sacks?
Yeah, I mean something like that. But my thing with Justin Houston is that like he's one of those veterans where like when the going gets tough and you need a big moment, he'll step up and he will be the one to make a play or at least be there to make the play. And it's a shame that you can't get guys like that in the postseason because that's where guys like that shine the most. They know what it takes. Justin Houston knows what it takes. You know what I mean?
Saw
So
on Sunday, Von
right,
Miller.
exactly. Those guys, those vets, man, they know what to do. So
Why not get Von Miller? I mean, he'll be a free agent.
yeah, yeah.
I
That would
doubt it
not
though.
be. I
I think
doubt it. Yeah,
I think he'll go back to LA or Denver if they get Aaron Rodgers.
yeah. It's pretty sweet in LA right now. I'm not gonna lie, but they have a lot of cap decisions to make coming up very soon. So we will see what they do with that. But thank you so much, Joe, for making it rain here on episode 95
Thank
of
you.
the Purple Rain podcast. Thank you so, so much. Make sure you guys go ahead and like this video, give it a thumbs up. If you're new here, make sure you go ahead and hit that subscribe button because we will be coming at you guys with so
Yes.
much more Baltimore Ravens content, NFL
Free
content,
agency.
free agency, draft is in 10 weeks. So we will be talking about a lot here on the Purple Rain podcast channel. So make sure you hit the subscribe channel. And guys, listen, if you don't want to subscribe for any other reason, make sure you subscribe because 5 more episodes, we will be doing a jersey giveaway. 5 more
Mm-hmm.
episodes at episode 100.
Yes.
It's going to be big. Trust me, you
Yes.
do not want to miss that. So if you're new, make sure you hit that subscribe button. All right. We do have another super chat donation. This one coming in from Edgar Allen Yo.
Thank
Thank
you.
you so, so much, man. We appreciate it. Says, you guys and Engraven are my go-to
Oof.
Ravens channels. Thanks, fellas.
To
Wow.
be included in that with him. Thank you.
Yeah, that's
High
definitely,
praise.
definitely huge praise for sure. We appreciate that. Let's see. So what else do we have here? Team Ramey saying here that they get a first round left tackle for Stanley Insurance Plan.
I wouldn't be. I
I,
mean, if we could get a right tackle that could play left tackle, I'd be cool with. But I just don't
yeah,
know.
yeah. I
I'm
think that would
just
be the best way to go. Right tackle that can play left tackle.
if we took a straight up left tackle, I'm like, damn, like Stanley, like when are we ever gonna see him on the field again? And we
Right, because
just
I
took
mean, at that point, we kind of have to kind of wait for Stanley to be good to go, right?
yeah,
Because we've already put so much money into him. you know?
100 million.
Like, yeah, exactly. So we have to get that return on investment somehow. So we got to go in a different direction on the offensive line. The right tackle position is right there that needs to be addressed. So we definitely got to get that. There's already a lot of money on left tackle.
Yep.
So, all right. So just kind of wrapping things up here because we didn't want to make this episode too long tonight. We kind of want to do about a half an hour episode tonight. But just kind of wrapping things up here, I wanted to also talk to you about the whole Hollywood Brown thing, the rumor.
Dude. Oh my God.
How crazy was that, right? Like, how crazy is it that like just one little piece of just fake news can drop and like
From
everybody can just
all right.
cling on to it?
I wanted to say something, but if you're a grown man looking for attention and you put a tweet out about another man and what he does with his career, who hasn't had his first big contract, the fact you're believing it in the first place is terrible.
Yeah.
Um, I just don't get what was the like. What do you gain from that?
Yeah.
And what was funnier is that the dude, CJ Golson, that fraud who got one thing right, who was like, oh yeah, DJ Chark's gonna be a Raven. Bro, why are we believing dudes without check marks?
Yeah. I mean, honestly,
If it
like
ain't Jeff Z, I'm not believing it. It's that simple.
you can't just believe anybody who puts per sources on
Right.
their Twitter posts. You know what I
I
mean?
think
Like
I
that's
think you
not
should
how it
put
works.
something out now like what's a good thing you can get? Lamar Jackson's retiring to pursue whatever per sources. And I
Right.
guarantee you people will
So,
believe
hey,
it.
the per sources, look, can't argue with that. It's facts, right?
I guarantee you like a multitude of people will believe it. And it's
Yeah.
sad.
Yeah. All right, let's see. So our guys from TB Ravens Media in the house says, "What is up,
Yo.
Brain Gang? What's going on? Appreciate you guys for coming through." All right, let's see what else we have. Let's go ahead and wrap up with some last little questions and comments
Throw
that
them
you
in.
guys have here. Yeah, throw
Throw
them
them in.
in.
80 people
We will
watching. Thank you.
80 people watching live right now. We know you guys got some questions about anything, whether it be about the Super Bowl, whether it be about other NFL teams, Ravens football. Just let us know. Let us know. We'll answer a couple here before we get out of here. Waiting on that. That's funny. Definitely appreciate you guys for coming through episode 95 of the Purple Rain podcast. Make sure you leave this a like on this video. Just per sources. Hashtag
Yeah.
per sources. I'm
That
gonna
that's
hashtag that.
that might be a new thing when here. Hashtag per sources.
Yeah.
I,
So
I see Farium says sources Colts on Monday Night Football. You would never believe that I saw a Colts fan try to bash Lamar Jackson. I'm like, this guy came back from how many? What was 19 points
right.
with a whole quarter and change left? Come on now.
Came back on your team twice in back-to-back years, no?
Oh, we're going back to back. I thought
Yeah.
about we own the Colts low key. I
Yeah, low
mean,
key.
they got us in the 2006 playoffs, but I think they've beaten us one time since then.
Yeah.
Cute. So,
Let's see. We got our guy Don C says, hit that like for the guys, everyone. Appreciate you, Don C.
thank you.
Absolutely. Our guy Dylan says, what do you guys think Hollywood deleting Ravens related picks and unfollowing the Ravens means for him going forward? Honestly, don't think it
I
means
don't.
anything. You
Yeah, I
see
don't.
like a lot of guys do this nowadays for some reason. Like they just
I
know they're
don't.
gonna get a reaction out of it. They know they're gonna see their name trending. I don't know what, you know?
I don't. I don't think anything of it. I mean, people overreacted with when Bateman did it. And look, maybe he's doing it to support his boy Kyler. I don't know, but
Yeah.
that's a whole different
Or
story.
maybe it's like a football doesn't define me sort of thing, you know?
Yeah, I mean, and
Uh,
there's nothing wrong with that. So
yeah. Let's see what else we
I
got
wouldn't have
here.
that much time to go through like who he follows and be like, oh, he unfollowed the Ravens. There's no like, I
Right.
want to be able to go on his page and whatever. Don't worry about it.
Yeah. Definitely no. Definitely no. Oh yeah. I wanted to ask you too. Well, actually, I'll
Yeah,
ask you right after this. Let's see. D3 says, do y'all think that T Martin will have more involvement in the play calling in certain situations?
I hope so.
Sure do hope so.
Yeah, I
Right.
mean, I think the best team, a top 2, top 3 team in the league, interviewed him for their offensive coordinator position.
That should say something. If that doesn't tell EDC something, if it doesn't tell Harbaugh something, then I don't know. I don't know, man. I don't know. Because you saw, I mean, like, early in the season, the passing game looked really, really good. Looked
Bro,
really
week
good.
one, like
Yeah.
if the defense doesn't lay a goose egg, I don't know what they were doing. We're starting off the season pretty good.
Right.
And yeah, what happened to Sammy Watkins? Because I was going through Lamar's highlights and I'm like, Sammy Watkins was doing his thing the first couple of games,
Yeah. Yeah.
and then
But it was what we expected all along. Injuries come around and he's in and out. He's not available, and next thing you know,
no
boom, he's a
chemistry.
non-factor.
Yep,
Yeah, exactly. So
it sucked because I had high hopes for him.
definitely did too, for sure, for sure. Let's see. So promotes Kodak Black as the face of the league, saying the NFL doesn't want Lamar as the face of the league. So Greg Roman is there to stunt Lamar's shine, and the media's purpose is to bash him. Hmm. I don't know about that, man. I don't know about
I mean,
that.
I thought I see. I thought that Lamar in 2019 is going to go through the same thing you see with Joe Burrow now, that he is playing at a high level and he's getting the shine, and they shine him up way too much that when he has a bad game, all the criticism now falls on them. I'm seeing it with Burrow now. I don't know if you're seeing the same thing too.
Yeah,
I saw it with Lamar in 19. Now I'm seeing it with Burrow. I don't think they don't want to be the face of the league. I mean, when he was the face of the league, like we were prime time. We were the 425 game of the week every week.
yeah,
Like we were 425 when our backups were playing against the
right,
Steelers.
yeah. That's interesting because I wonder how many primetime games we'll get next season, considering how we performed this season.
As
My
long as
guess
we
is
have
like,
Lamar,
are you saying like
3 or 4
over under 3?
over 4.
Over 3. Okay.
I think 4.
Got you. Got you.
Probably a Sunday, a Monday, a Thursday, probably 2 Sundays.
Got you. Yeah. I mean, that sounds about right. I mean, what do we have this year? Like 5?
Yeah, our
Yeah.
first 2 games were on prime time.
Hmm.
3 out
Yeah, I
of our
could
first
definitely
5
see.
were on prime time.
I could see 4. If the NFL knows what's good for them, they'll do 4. With a healthy Ravens roster, you're gonna want to see that on prime time for sure.
Our preseason games should be prime time. That's how
Let's
stacked
see.
our. Bro, think our backups lost 1 point to the defending reigning NFL champs, the Rams. 1 point.
Yeah. Yeah.
Crazy.
That is crazy. I was thinking about that earlier today, actually. Let's see. Manuel's COD channel says simply with the fire videos of Eli toasted. Yeah.
Thank you.
Another question here from our guy Don C says, "Do you guys think that we have a shot at Charles Cross, Icky, or Trevor Penning? I don't think Tyler Linderbaum is big enough to be our center. I know you really like Trevor Penning,
Trevor
right?
Penning is nasty, and I remember because LJ Fort went to Northern Iowa as well, and I saw he was
Mm,
like retweeting some of Trevor Penning's stuff like months ago, and honestly, I thought maybe we could get him like 2, 3. I didn't know he was a first round prospect until a couple weeks ago.
mm,
I think he plays that nastiness that like an offensive lineman needs, like a Ryan Jensen nastiness. Like you hit my quarterback, I'm going to come and hit you. That type
yeah,
of, and I think that's what we've been missing. I mean,
definitely need
Stanley
that.
has that nastiness. I've seen it from him.
Yeah.
Um,
It's always good having guys on the offensive line that can kind of impose their will on
mhm.
guys, not only physically but mentally, just like in the way that they play. Just really rough guys. Like you love guys like that on your O line, and that's why we really liked Ben Cleveland. We really liked that pick
Yeah,
last year, and we hope that he can develop into what we expect him to be. Same thing. I don't know all these guys just yet, but I have heard of Trevor Penning. I've seen a couple plays, things like that.
yeah,
But yeah, I mean, O line, that's what we're talking about here. That needs to be the number one priority. So yeah, hopefully we do have a shot at these guys. Let's see. Last question we'll go ahead and take here is going to be from Rocky Brown. Says, how do you feel about re-signing Tavon
mm.
Young?
I'm biased. I think I say at the right price because I always want players from Maryland that play for the
Mm,
Ravens to do good. I don't care where you went to college. Um, and I look at Tavon. I thought he had a good season last year. I think he's a
yeah,
playmaker. He had that big pick in week 2 against the Chiefs, and when he was healthy, I don't think he got burnt that bad. It got burnt
Mm,
at all.
yeah.
But I feel like they're going to use a Darius Washington in the slot. If he were to be re-signed, probably like a 1 year, $3 million deal. But I'd love to have him back.
Yeah. Honestly, yeah, I would too. Just having him as depth in that cornerback group, like
Oh my
it's
gosh, we saw.
it's definitely special. So especially considering we get back a Marlon Humphrey, a Marcus Peters next year, which we fully expect too. Having a guy like Tavon Young, playing in the slot, backing those guys up, not having to guard the number one, number two guy, you know, that'll definitely bode pretty well for us.
And I mean,
But
speaking of secondary, I'm interested to see what Chris Westry does. I think
yeah,
he can
yeah,
be like our Averett now. Like he can come in there and make plays when he's called upon, but
yeah.
he, he just was thrown into the fire last year when he was healthy.
Agree. All right, so I think that is going to do it for tonight's episode of the Purple Rain podcast. This has been episode 95. Make sure you guys go ahead and like this video. Also, subscribe to the channel as well if you are new, because we're doing a giveaway in 5 episodes, and you do not want to miss that. So yeah, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Also, follow us on Instagram at the Purple Rain podcast for updates on that giveaway. Yeah, the only way you're gonna get real updates on the giveaway is if you follow the Instagram. So make sure you follow us on Instagram at the Purple Rain Podcast. Yeah, like I said, one last time, if you want to find us on Instagram or Twitter, you can find me on Twitter or IG at Sutton Def, just like you see there on the screen. And my guy Simply AS10, you can find him on Twitter at Simply AS10 and on Instagram at simplyas10.prod. This has been episode 95 of the Purple Rain Podcast. And with that being said, I'm gonna let my guy Alex take us out.
And as always, like he said, thank you for coming through episode 95 of the Purple Rain podcast. And as always, stay positive, test negative, and remember, Eli Apple never was a superstar. He must be on them Zanny bars.
And never, ever, ever, ever forget to call God. We're going to catch you guys in the next one. Peace.